Hey y'all, welcome to Culture Cult. My name is Marie. I'm the host of the show, and this is a show where we're trying to learn about every country in the world. But I also am a digital nomad with my own business, Your Girl Media, and I have been traveling the world for the past 2 years, and I have been gatekeeping my whole trip the past year. I haven't really spilled much about what's happened unless you follow me on Instagram, because there's like how do I describe what just happened last year? So last year I traveled to 7 different countries and in over 10 months. So I kind of did a slow mad trip. I started off in France, did Portugal, then to Thailand, to Australia, to Vietnam, which is what this episode is about, then Korea, and then I almost went to Japan, but I was so burnt out. So I've recorded an episode about Portugal, my Lisbon episode, which is so good. I recorded about my chaotic trip in Australia. If you want to scroll down, oh my gosh. Actually, I'll put the links to all of the experiences in the show notes. That way y'all can listen congruently if you would like to. I have done an episode on how I stayed on the White Lotus Island in Thailand, and I went to Indonesia, didn't love it, but I did an episode on that because my friend came on and she loved it. So you'll get to hear that. And then obviously I did an episode on Australia, and now this is the Vietnam episode. Also, there's some reasons I haven't wanted to spill this episode out, because I met my now late partner, Ollie, in Thailand, and we dated all the way up till Vietnam. So we dated for about 7 months, and we dated through Vietnam, and then we stopped dating this May after my trip ended because we both live in different places. Like, it really was, I guess, more of a travel relationship, but it was great while it happened. And I guess I haven't really wanted to spill more about Vietnam because that was a great time with him. And it's sad when you break up. So, but that's not your problem. So you're like, I don't give a fuck. What did you learn in Vietnam? So let's actually get into the episode. Oh my God. So I don't know how to describe Vietnam to y'all besides describing the observations that I wrote down while I lived there. Now, I've been to Vietnam before. I've been to the north all the way down to the middle. I've never been to the south, and I've seen so many parts of Vietnam that I didn't see on this trip. My previous trip, we started in Hanoi, which is a very, very, very busy city. We went to Cat Ba Island, then we went to Nha Trang, and we went all the way down to Hội An, where I ended up this trip. And my last trip, we saw some really, really remote villages. I mean, the north, I wouldn't say that people are it's not that they're not nice, but they're just not used to tourists. For instance, you would go into a village and everyone comes out of their house and just stares at you. Like, that's how the north is in a lot of places. They just have never seen a tourist before, and so they just stare at you. And Hội An is completely different. So Hội An is the town I chose for me and Ollie to meet up in and stay for 3 months together. And I've been there before. It is beautiful. It is like the most classic lantern lit, medieval looking town that has bridges overlooking the water with gondolas running through. And it's beautiful. It is beautiful. It's great for shopping. This is a place where people come and fly to just to get their clothes hand tailored. So great for fashion, great for food. And I decided that we should go and live there for 3 months. So we were in the town of Hội An. Now, I did not travel as much this time around in Vietnam because I was pretty burnt out from traveling 6 months plus already. And I just really wanted a place to just chill and rest. So that's what we did. And I'm going to be specifically talking about the town of Hội An this episode. So let's get back to what is Vietnam like? I'm going to read you out my observations I wrote. So we were living in the rice fields. And so it's really flat, gorgeous, and there's a lot of water buffalo. So as we were scooting around, there was a guy every day, he would be laying on the water buffalo with his elbow up, just laying on it all day. No matter what time we passed him, he was laying on the water buffalo. And he asked $60 for you to take a picture of him sitting on the water buffalo. You're going to start hitting a theme here, but I'll let you pick up on the theme. We were at a cafe and I went to go to the bathroom. As I was leaving the bathroom, this kid went to the bathroom. And so Ollie was like, okay, I'm going to go to the bathroom now. So as Ollie goes back to the bathroom of this cafe, he said the kid was taking a shit. He said the kid was taking a shit with the door wide open. And Ollie went into the bathroom and screamed, and the kid just looked at him. Didn't give a fuck. This little Vietnamese child was just taking a shit with the door wide open in this cafe. Again, you're going to be picking up a hint on Vietnam. I remember me and Ollie were on the back porch, like just drinking beers, overlooking the rice fields. And we saw this guy just pissing in the rice field with a cigarette in his mouth. Like, doesn't give a fuck. That's what I want you to be picking up on. Vietnamese people don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. It is like truly freeing. It's amazing. It's truly amazing. Okay, going back to other observations, we went to one of our local spots. And now, what I'm about to tell you, don't let that deter you from eating local food. It's a hit or miss everywhere you go. We had incredible food our entire trip. But this one little place we went to, I was eating, and then I spotted a maggot in my soup. I had already eaten half of the soup. I was so disturbed. I wanted to throw up. So obviously we left, but my fat ass, like, oh my God, I wanted to finish my pho. So we just went to the place next door and got pho there. And that place ended up being our number one spot. Like, if we didn't find the maggot in my soup, we wouldn't have gone to the place next door. And those people loved us. We loved them. They had this super cute dog that we love. What was his name? He had this tiny little white dog that was the most pitiful looking thing. And the kitchen was pretty much just like a setup of tables and like a bunch of pots and the dog walking around. And we loved that spot. So don't let that deter you from eating local. That was just one time. And yes, I found a maggot in my soup and it scars me. I actually blocked it out of my mind until I read these notes. Okay. Let's also mention something about Vietnam. It is, again, a place of contradictions. It's so beautiful. There's the rice fields, the cows walking across the street, the buffalo, the chickens. It's also the loudest country you will probably ever go to. Like, Vietnamese people are so loud, not just in like how they speak, like how they say Americans are loud. Like, everything they do is just loud. Like, if they're going to sneeze, they will sneeze like the loudest sneeze you've ever heard in like 7 times in a row. Like, I remember I was in a yoga class and the yoga class was next to someone's like residential building. And this guy in a yin yoga class where you really like, no one's just moving. It's just silent. This guy sneezed. I counted 12 times in a row and so loud. Like, you know, that really loud man sneeze? Yeah, that's all Vietnamese people. They like to spit. The men do like to spit. I don't like that either. They're constantly banging stuff, like banging pots. But here's the biggest thing. They fucking love their karaoke. So everyone has these speaker level, like these festival level speakers in their like front lot or on the street, and they are all blasting music at the same time, screaming karaoke. And we thought this was just for like the New Year's, but absolutely not. But no, this is just the lifestyle. They love to sing, which is fine. You know, I love to sing too. But here's the thing. It's not like Thailand or the Philippines where these people are talented. No offense, but the Vietnamese people are fucking tone deaf. I think I took a video. I actually took lots of videos. I'm going to pause it right here and let you listen to some. Yeah. So these guys were doing it no matter what day the karaoke was happening. And this is, it could be like 8 a.m. Like, I would be riding my bicycle and some guy is just sitting out there smoking a cigarette, blasting karaoke and singing. Like, I love it. Oh my God. I love it. Again, this country doesn't give a fuck. They also have cart guys that come around with their little jingles. It's so funny. Like, everything about Vietnam is just like chaos. And I love chaos. Chaos makes me laugh so hard. I'm hoping Ollie will send me over the jingle. And if he did, then I will put the jingle that we always laughed about. But these guys are just like riding around with like food and with these like speakers that play at all times. So if I have that, I'll play it like right now. Something else I noticed, the women here are badass. All the women here are business women. They all are the ones that are handling the carts or handling the businesses or handling the little 7-Elevens that they have. It's always the women. The men. The men are not working. I feel like all I saw the men doing were smoking cigarettes, spitting, doing karaoke, pissing in the rice field, maybe going to the rice field doing a little bit of work, but then going to play pool next door all day. Like, yeah, that's pretty much what I saw. Is like the women are like definitely running this country, at least in Hoi An. Now, let's talk about the people. Okay, so again, I mentioned in northern Vietnam, they weren't like the friendliest. It wasn't that they weren't friendly. They just, yeah, I mean, yeah, they're not friendly. They're not mean, but they're not friendly. People in Hoi An are so sweet. So, so sweet. I want to shout out my friend who was at the coffee shop behind us. I will drop that coffee shop and maybe even her Instagram for y'all to reach out to her. She's so, so sweet. There's this beautiful coffee shop in the rice fields behind our house. And they, y'all get ready for that coffee. I mean, I think Ollie almost had a heart attack from that coffee. He had to leave the coffee shop one day. The coffee shop. Oh, wait, let's pause there. The coffee in Vietnam is so goddamn strong. It is so good, though. You have to get the coconut coffee or the salted coffee or the egg coffee or the avocado coffee. I know these sound weird, but don't say shit until you try it. The coffee there is incredible and it's very, very strong. So this place behind our house had, I think, the strongest coffee in the town. Again, Ollie had to leave and like laid on the bed thinking he was having a heart attack the rest of the fucking day because he drank the whole thing. And anyways, my friend there, she is like, let me give you an example of her kindness. She always came to talk to us, of course. But one day I went there and they were closed. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was pouring down rain. And so she was like, oh, I'll take you to the coffee shop nearby. And so she left work, gave me her poncho to wear, and drove me on the motorcycle to the next cafe, and then let me have her poncho. Like, how fucking sweet. I'll leave her Instagram. Well, I'll ask her if it's okay if I give out her Instagram, but I'll at least put the coffee shop below. This is a must in Hoi An. You must go to this beautiful coffee shop in the rice fields behind our house. I can't remember the name, but I'll have it in the show notes. There's also an example of this is also a great example of how the Vietnamese people are. I remember I was taking my bicycle to the gym through the rice fields, and suddenly like this guy on his motorbike waves me down, and I was like, hi, how are you? And he was like, do I know you? And I was like, I don't think so. And he's like, oh, okay. Where are you from? And I told him. And then he was like, oh, okay. Whoa, what do you like to eat? And then that became the conversation that we had every single day. Me and this guy would meet every day on the way. I would go to the gym. He's going to work. We'd stop and he would say, hi. And I go, hi. I'm like, sin chow. And then he'd say, I like mango. And then I'll go, I like mango too. And he's like, I like rice. And I go, I like rice too. I like soup. I like soup too. That's literally all we talked about, guys. I'm not kidding. Actually, I'm going to pull up our messages because he asked for my WhatsApp. And I'm going to pull up exactly what our WhatsApp messages looked like. Holy shit. I have to find it. It's so funny. Oh my God, here he is. His name's Tin Win. He said, hi. This is our text messages, by the way. He said, hi, what food is your favorite? I said, I love bun chow and cao lao. He says, I like bun chow too because it has raw vegetables. He messaged me the next day. My hobby is eating rice cake. They usually eat pancakes in winter. And I said, I love rice cake. He messaged me 2 days later. I also like sushi. I left him on red. Sorry. Then he messaged me on Saturday. I prefer rice rolls with sausage over time with cantaloupe yogurt. I responded to him in Vietnamese about something. He goes, good for you. And then a few weeks later, what is your favorite drinking? And then the last thing he has sent me, which is in April, which is I enjoyed white coffee. My God. This is what I'm talking about. Like, the Vietnamese people are so funny. They're so funny. They're so chaotic. They're so sweet and like extremely chaotic. And that was my routine. I go to the gym and I talk about food with this man. Okay. Now let's talk about some things I think you can't miss in Hoi An. And this is more like just from living there over 3 months. This is not touristy stuff. This is if like you really just want to have like just stuff outside the touristy stuff. There's something called Spice Route. It's in downtown Hoi An. And my gosh, y'all, this place has incredible cocktails. Like, and it's kind of hard to get a good cocktail in Southeast Asia. Can't lie. This place is, they know what they're doing. And it's all herbal based. So it's actually a tea, it's actually like a heritage site, this place. And it's like this old wooden, beautiful building. It's a tea house. So you can go there and just drink herbal tea. You can also have like a tea infused cocktail, and there's live jazz music every night. And it's all overlooking the canals with the lanterns and with the beautiful like gondolas running through. I mean, guys, you got to go to Spice Route. Another one, this is if you want to go to an amazing yoga studio, it's called Yoga. Yep. Okay. So this yoga studio that I went to that was near my house is called Factory in Hội An, and Harry is one of the leading yoga teachers there, and he's trying to teach yoga to all the local Vietnamese people and get them certified to become yoga teachers. So y'all, this yoga studio is beautiful. It's overlooking the rice paddies. It's amazing for sunsets. It's amazing for power yoga. And so this is a great spot if you're looking to do yoga and even aerial yoga. So they have aerial classes, which is super fun. This was like where I went the most, I think. The other thing I really, really want to mention is by far one of the best cafes I've been in the whole world, and the best co-working space I've ever been to. It is called HIT Ha, HIT space Ha. It's on the beach. It's also a dog cafe. So there's a dog section outside. There's also a cat cafe. So there's cats running around too. You're on the ocean, like you're literally on the beach. Downstairs is the cafe, all Vietnamese run. Everyone there are Vietnamese chefs. And this is some of the best food I've ever had. Not just Vietnamese food, but they make incredible like European food. Like the pesto there might as well have been from Italy. The bread might as well have been from France. Like the cheese. Again, these are things you really do miss when you're abroad in Asia, because you don't really find good cheese and bread. I'm really not kidding, guys. I know I exaggerate a lot. It's because I don't know a lot. I don't have a big vocabulary. I'm trying to emphasize in the best way possible that this is some of the best food I've ever had. The cafe is gorgeous and it's very community filled. They have a lot of events there. They actually hosted the Nomad Fest. Actually, I forgot. They hosted Nomad Fest in Hội An. So you might have heard of it. And they have a great community. So if you go here often, you'll see the same people over and over, because everyone here goes to the yoga studio and everyone at the yoga studio goes to this cafe. And at the top is an air-conditioned co-working space, super quiet in there, all overlooking the ocean. Guys, this is the best co-working spot. I miss it every day. Oh my God, the coconut coffee. That was the best one I had. They have incredible desserts. This is a must. My nail salon I go to here in Alabama, everyone in this nail salon is from Hội An, by the way. And I told them to go to HIT Ha, and they went and they said it was amazing. So listen, if they said it, trust me. So overall, like there's probably so much more I can talk about Hội An, but this is a must spot for Vietnam. Does it really represent the whole country? No, I think it is a very touristy version of the country, but I think it's a great first stop. It's a fantastic home base while you're traveling. It's a great base in general, because you can like fly to Taiwan from Da Nang. That's the closest airport. You can fly to Korea very cheap. I flew to Korea for $100 one way, obviously. You can go to Cambodia. It's a great home base. I think if you're looking for one as a long-term nomad, I think it's a great spot if you are just kind of trying it out. Like this is the first time in Vietnam. My first time in Vietnam, we landed in Hanoi, which was such a shock. When I tell you, this was years ago. This was like 7 years ago. When me and my friend Meg first went to Hanoi. Again, this was right after Thailand. I think Thailand and Vietnam are so different. And maybe I'll talk about that in a second. We landed in Hanoi. Wait, hold up. The amount of beeping in Vietnam. Like these people, I'm telling you, this place they love noise. They love noise, love making noise, whether it's sneezing, coughing, karaokeing, beeping. They love to beep. That is their number one trait. They will just hand on the beep. They just love beeping on their motorbikes. So when we first got to Hanoi years ago, we were overwhelmed by the amount of beeping, and just the flow of traffic there is insane. Like you should look up on YouTube, Hanoi, like traffic. Like I don't know how it works. And I remember we finally get on a bus. We're headed out of the city, and we're on this bus. Only Vietnamese people are on this bus. And of course, now that I think about it, there was karaoke on the TV screens, and we're driving, and I look to my right, and there is a guy on a motorcycle in a leather jacket with a full-grown falcon sitting on his forearm. He is driving a motorcycle with a falcon on his forearm. This is Vietnam. There is a reason why Anthony Bourdain, that this is one of his favorite countries, maybe his top country, because it's chaotic. It's so unapologetically itself, and the food is phenomenal and so healthy for you, besides the maggot that was in my soup. Anyways, Vietnam is its own entity. And I do think it's so different from Thailand. Thailand, I like to think of places in colors. I find Thailand is a rainbow. It is a vibrant rainbow. And the people there are pretty much rainbows themselves. Like, they're gay, they're flamboyant, they love to party, they love to entertain. They're full of joy. Vietnamese people are this like hot and cold thing. They're either like the sweetest people you've ever met in your life, or just like the most blunt motherfuckers. They are this or that. It's either serene or it's chaotic. Vietnam in general is its own experience. And I would love to hear about your experience. If you've ever been there, please always feel free to hit me up. My Instagram is @CultureCultShow, especially if you want more tips on Hoi An, in Vietnam in general. Again, I only am familiar with the north to the middle. I've never been to the south, but I have plenty of people I know, locals, that can direct you. I recommend staying at Mimi's house. She has 3 to 4 apartments in Hoi An, and it was on the rice fields. And we got such a good homestay experience with Mimi, because the whole family is involved with you. It's not like you just have your own Airbnb. Like, we eat dinners together. You eat breakfast, free breakfast every morning. You eat dinners with them. They hosted so many events with us. They took us out to eat snails with her and her family. Her daughter, Sue, is so funny. That girl is like ADHD on crack, and she'll tell you everything you ever want to know about anime. And they sing karaoke in the house. And Mimi's just such a great host and can tell you everything you want to know about Hoi An. And I will leave her information if you actually want to book with her and not through Airbnb prices. I will leave her information also in the show notes. So anything I said, check the show notes. Please feel free to reach out to me at any point if you have questions on Vietnam in general. And I just want to say, like, even though that was the last time like me and Ollie saw each other, which is very sad when I think about it, like, I'm so glad he was there with me. Like, we had such a beautiful time. We had so much fun. Well, I'm getting emotional. And that's, I think that is the reason why I haven't recorded any of these episodes, because he has been so involved in a lot of these countries that I went to. And I'm fucking crying while I'm talking about this. He was a great boyfriend. He was a great partner, and we had so much fun. And Vietnam and Thailand are very special in my heart, because he has a great travel partner and we experienced some crazy shit together. And I'll always be grateful for that. So, okay, enough with the crying. Y'all hit me up if you ever have questions about Vietnam. I really appreciate you and all your listeners for, wanting to hear my travels for the past years and actually letting me be vulnerable on the podcast. And I would love to, see y'all out on the road one day. Okay, cheers, y'all.